Hello everybody, welcome back to another more jellyfish video. For today's video, we're going to be talking about what are the 5 worst kits in Roblox Bedwars. Now, this is opinionated obviously because there's no real statistics that support this kit losing the most games or stuff on Bedwars. We don't have any of that, so it's basically just my opinion on hey, these kits are not good in my opinion. So, obviously you're going to have a different opinion than me, and I'd like to hear those in the comments below. Make sure to let me know what you guys think are the worst kits. On that note, I do make Bed Wars content pretty often. I used to make it almost daily, but, I've slowed down for the holiday season a bit, and then I got sick, and, anyways, yeah, so make sure to like and subscribe if you want more Bed Wars content. On that note, we're going to hop right into today's video and get talking about what I think are the 5 worst kits, and yeah, let's get into the video. So, in our 5th place spot, so not the worst kit, probably basically where this is the least worst kit, right? 5 is the least worst, and then we get to 1 that would be my ideal worst kit in the game. So starting off with our 5th place spot, we're going to be putting Infernal Shield in there. Now I know this is a little bit controversial. Some people like me used to really favor this kit back in the day, used to think it was really good, used to love this kit a lot. But at some point, I don't know, the bow meta didn't feel as bad. I mean, yeah, bow spamming's a real thing, and there's Vanessa now, and you have archers, and you just have a lot of bow spammers in the game still. But to me, I feel like if you learn to build right, or you make smart moves, or you use tele pearls, bow spammers really aren't going to affect you. Therefore, you don't need to take this shield as your special item for a kit. You can instead pick something like Barbarian and get yourself a Rage Blade, pick something like Pyro, and get a Flamethrower. Something much more nicer and more useful of an item. The shield, yes, still has a place for some games, but I would get in some games and, you basically feel like the shield was pointless because nobody uses a bow. So for that reason, I'm kind of putting Shielder in our 5th place spot because there's a lot of other ways to defend against bows, and playing this kit and losing the advantage of other kits is not necessary. So yeah, Shielder's going to be number 5. Alright, moving into number 4, we have Trapper. Now, I put Trapper in the number 4 spot solely because he's so easily countered. They finally fixed the damage buff. It used to, when you put somebody in a trap and they get trapped in it, it would actually decrease your damage instead of increasing your damage. But I tested that and they did fix that. They will take more damage if they do step in the trap. The problem with traps is they have to stand directly on that block where the trap is. How are you going to get someone to do that unless they're really just messing up and not playing right? Just being bad at the game, or they're just in a hurry and they're down like a 1-lane bridge, they might step on it. But in reality, I feel like most people are not going to step in traps, considering that you can mine them from almost 10 blocks away. Your enemy can mine them from like 10 blocks away. They get them in their inventory, so now they can use them against you. And it's just kind of a silly kit. I don't think it really has a good place anywhere. Not very useful. And that's going to move us into our 3rd place spot, and I'm going to be putting Raven in that 3rd place spot. Now, Raven got some tweaks and buffs, and he can now pop balloons, and so he does work for that sense of popping balloons, but now we also have the controlled rocket launcher that you can control the rocket and hit people, and that also works really well for taking out balloons. Now, the Raven is going to give you a better advantage here, because 1 Raven for 1 emerald will pop like 3 or 6 balloons or whatever it is, where the rockets are probably only going to pop 1 at a time. But my whole time playing Raven, I've just never wanted to spin those emeralds into Ravens to begin with, so I don't really use it a whole lot, and I don't really like this kit. Some people really vouch for this kit, and they really like it, and that's fine with me. I just personally don't think it's a good kit. I think it's a kit that incentivizes you to waste your early game emeralds, and you probably shouldn't do that because there's a lot of valuable items with emeralds. Next up, we got Lassie in our number 2 spot. Now, some people love Lassie too, but personally I find Lassie lacking in the department of what she gives you. She's going to give you a lasso, and a lasso's dandy and all, but basically the only real plays you're making with a lasso is to void people, which that means you got to rip them off the map and they got to fall. Later game, this is completely worthless because people have ender pearls, people have balloons, so it's not going to do anything later game. Early game, you might be able to get some fun pulls and harass people, but overall for me, Lassie is a fun kit to play and not a serious kit for winning, and for that, it is in our 2nd place spot on our list. Now, I do got like 1 or 2 honorable mentions here that could have maybe made this list, but didn't. And that first honorable mention is going to be Grompy. Well, Gompy. I know a lot of people love Gompy and they think he's really good. You run in there, you get one shot on somebody, it does a lot of damage, then you finish him off. And you can do that. But to me, I don't like Gompy because I got to spend 60 iron, get in a vacuum, which that's a lot of iron for early game. Then I gotta go get a ghost, and then I get that ghost, and now I'm finally ready to attack. This is a lot of work for one shot. It's not like you can go store up ghosts either. You get the one shot and that's all you can hold. So I don't know. I feel like I wish Gompy would get some tweaks in his kit. I feel like he can come off a little bit weak. And then just for our second honorable mention, I'm going to put Wizard. Now, I know a lot of people aren't going to like this because Wizard does have a place. Don't get me wrong. I love Wizard's slowing orb. It works really well, but the lightning ability is basically worthless almost. There's almost zero use for it. And so that's why it's going to be on this list because the kit's partially just unusable. And then on top of that, we also have one other issue with him, and that is that the sound bug. If you hit somebody with these abilities, it puts a sound on them, and it will stay with them for the rest of the game. No matter if they die and respawn, they're just always going to permanently be running around making this like noise. And it's been in the game since Wizard ever came out, and the developers still have yet to fix it. Not sure why that is. But yeah, on that note, those are our two honorable mentions. It's time to move into what I think is the worst kit in all of Bedwars, and that is no other than the Pirate Man himself. The worst kit in the game to me is Davey. Now, some people like Davey. You know, he got a TNT price reduction, which I could see being used somewhere, but why can't the developers just fix the cannon? Make the cannon useful. Make it aimable. Something. I mean, come on. This guy's just mass dropping TNT now for just nothing. I mean, but he can't aim. If he could just aim, the kit would be good. Just make Davey aim. Give Davey and aim. The bows have aim. Why can't a cannon have aim? I don't know. Anyways, I can't get over Davey being a good kit, a bad kit. I don't know. I don't think the kit ever shines at all. I've never seen a top Davey player who just wrecks everybody because he plays Davey. I mean, you see flamethrowers, you see barbs, you know, you see stuff like that, and then you see Davey over here just getting some cheaper TNT and just shooting TNT out of a cannon and just missing them all and doing nothing with it because he has to set up this battle station so people see him coming, and then he starts trying to shoot the TNT, and then he just gets either attacked or the TNT misses, and it just does not work out. If you're a Davey player, hey, don't bark, Tickles. If you're a Davey player, I'd be interested for you to read your guys' comments of why you guys think Davey shouldn't be #1 spot, or maybe why he should not be on this list at all, perhaps. But on that note, guys, that is all I have for today's video. That is the 5 worst kits in Bedwars. For me, personally, I'd be interested to hear what yours are down below. But on that note, before we end the video, you know we got to thank our members. So thank you, Mama Peace. Thank you, Redwood Deadwood. Thank you, Insolence Axolotl. And thank you, Clockwork Gaming. And on that note, guys, I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.